Welcome to T.N.T. videos again. In a moment, we will be executing the narration program. Me and my comrade will guide you through this movie, telling you the exact meaning of our awesomeness.
Hi. This part that you're watching right now with each character clip was actually my idea. I had a lot of fun coming up with it, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I hope that you really had a lot of fun watching it.
This little scene was kind of a tough one. It was kind of rough doing a movie with bare feet. I mean, those bricks kind of were painful, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, kind of. Didn't really feel too good where you would run on them.
Now, this scene right here, this truly was the most exciting. I tribute to perfection. We didn't really.
As you can see in the mirror there, we kind of were not very careful with our camera angles. Right here, you can tell I'm smiling a little bit after I say this.
The best part.
It's very hard to keep a straight face looking at him.
My favorite part about playing Tommy was the fact he was psychotic and got to smile all the time, and it sounds stupid. I mean, right here, this was a pretty rough part. I had to make it look realistic, so I tasted the flour. It was not good at all, as you can tell by my horrible expression.
Being Tanner was really one of the best parts of making this movie, because Tanner was one of those people that you don't want to mess with.
Right here, back in the department, as you can see.
With our dresses hanging on the wall.
Yeah, we really need to work on future movies. Number one, I gotta stop mumbling when I talk. I mean, I sound like I'm reading my script. I mean, I wasn't reading it. He was holding the script.
I was holding the script, only I wasn't really reading it because I had the entire movie memorized like the day I wrote it.
That's a bummer because I didn't. This was a good one. In the bloopers, you'll see how awesome this part really was. I mean, it took us several takes to finally get it. I have no idea why. It's like we're afraid of that camera or something. It's like it's an eyeball looking at you or something, saying, hey, you look stupid.
Well, what really does look stupid, seriously, are the dresses and the materials in the background.
I think the funny stuff in these movies is the fact that every once in a while you could see the camera tripod, and then every once in a while you can see the camera itself. That's pretty good. And just to let you all know, throughout this movie, I was wearing a pair of shorts with too many holes in it.
And no shoes.
Yes. We were kind of cheap. I was kind of hot that day.
Now right here we're coming back to the scene at Tanner's hideout where Tanner needs to get a new chemist. This right here was one of the funniest scenes that we did because the camera was actually above us with the tripod right directly in front of our faces. It was kind of hard to keep a straight face because I actually had Ben, as Tommy, sitting across the table from me and making all kinds of faces while I was trying to talk.
It's something that all people should always know about movies. If you can, have the script held up so the other person can read it. As you can see in this one scene right now, I was reading a script.
That's the worst part about having the script in front of you, is you really are tempted to read it. And also, if you'll look over here in the far right corner after you see Tanner, there's a cereal bowl there.
This was a good part right here. I mean, we couldn't make our mind up whether to just show it from the outside or from the inside. I mean, it was real rough. I mean, the weather was kind of making it hard. I mean, this one spot kind of nerve-wrecked me because he kicked that door so hard. But, I mean, this part here was a flaw. I mean, as soon as I walk in that building, I just say, it's clear.
Like the building's like a 5 foot across by 5 foot long.
Yeah, man, it's like we're in prison or something. It's the hole. Oh, this was a good part. I really loused this one up. I should have waited till I was inside because when I said someone's here or whatever it was, I mean, I was still saying it. Oh.
On the movie, if you'll listen to the voice of the man walking into the room, it sounds echoed. And also at the beginning with Tommy, it's because of the narration over the timeline with the song coming in. It was hilarious to listen to.
Yeah, it was. This part was funny.
Ben was actually crouching down to pick up the gun and moving the camera at the same time. Multitasking at its best right here.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, stop talking on yourself.
I'll tell you something about this movie, folks. When we made this, we were trying to give you the presence of, of it being a huge building. Oh, not to cut in, but that part right there we just had, we accidentally said it twice.
And backwards at the same time.
Yeah, see, that's the funny stuff, you know?
This particular take right here, took over 20 tries, I know, and it took us the process of 2 days in order to get it actually done right.
The worst part was, it wasn't even funny.
And we were laughing, but the funny parts we can do with a straight face. It's completely backwards from everything.
Yeah, and look, we did it again. This was not a retake, this was literally a freak accident. Now
this right here, oh, you go on ahead and tell them about this. This was just...
That was a pretty hard scene to do right there. Because for some stupid reason, the director accidentally forgot to tell me the one script I had to read. So we just had to immediately diving into the answer.
Exactly. So you have the cops walking in and they say, freeze. And then Tommy goes, I own the place. You know, it really, really did not work out as well as we were hoping.
Oh, this part was funny here. I mean, I don't know why, but I just kept thinking I have issues the whole time.
It's one of our favorite parts to watch.
This was funny. I had to add in the black accent when I talked about cops. I mean, it's just part of life.
This right here, it was actually very hard for me to keep a straight face because I was just thinking of all the funny crap that we were going to be doing in the future on this movie. This right here was actually really funny. We had to do this take 3 or 4 times in order to get it right. The first time I forgot to hand him the gun while he was laying down on the ground. The last scene that you just saw was actually very hard because Ben actually had to change clothes 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it was really terrible, I will admit, because it was hot yesterday.
Each time that you see a switch between the cops and going back to Tommy, it actually is him changing clothes each time.
It was pretty rough, I will admit, and he kept making me do it over and over.
This scene right here that you see, you can actually see the camera in the mirror right there to the right of Tanner. Now, this particular scene right here we had to do 3 times. First time, Ben actually forgot his line. The second time, I was not wearing my sunglasses. And this time right here, we actually got it right. You can see both of those scenes in the bloopers.
There was a small flaw. I didn't stand far enough away from the house, so it sounded like I had a double voice.
No, that's AT&T for you right there.
You're right. Low-class technology.
But that right there, this scene right here, we actually added a little something to our wardrobe. As you can see, the beautiful, weird, gay-colored dress up there on the side. This scene right here was actually all ad-libbing. There was pretty much no script involved in this. It was pretty much just me and Ben talking like we would normally do during the day.
As you can see, we have absolutely nothing useful to talk about during the day.
You're not supposed to let them know that!
Sorry, man. Part of life. Now, this was funny. I will admit. Now, to all you listeners, doesn't it look like Viking hair?
Oh, man. Look, it's Leif Erikson as a woman. Me and Ben actually had a lot of fun making this movie because the whole time whenever he would wear the Hawaiian shirt, I always called him Tommy Bahama. Oh, I had a lot of fun doing that. That joke right there, you can use that if you want to. You know, NASCAR stands for non-athletic sports centered around rednecks. Remember that. It's really important. Which, by the way, I'm not cutting them down because I am one.
As you can see here, this was kind of a tough one because, the first time I did it, I had a weird lady, some people outside driving by in a four-wheeler, see me dressed up in that Haitian clothes, and it kind of threw me off guard. So I walked inside and started talking in a normal accent. I needed my little Portuguese accent, you know? So, it took us once, twice, Oh, by the way, on the music video, you'll see that one scene on there. Now, this part right here.
This was hilarious. This right here, I had an idea because on the cop shows, they always taste the cocaine with their finger. I decided I don't want to do that. This is flour. So I just sprinkled a little bit in a glass of tea and tasted it. I thought, it's got comedic power, and plus I don't have to taste that nasty junk. And then in this scene, I also decided that I was thirsty, so I drank the rest of it.
Yeah, we couldn't retake that scene.
Here is Tanner being taken away, which is a really tricky scene to do because we also had to put myself in there as a cop and be taken away. So it was a very, very hard splicing of scenes that we had to do here.
This was personally my favorite because I engineered it myself. As you can see, the music went perfect with the way we walked. Now, there's a flaw coming up right here. For some stupid reason, he was walking by,
without having my handcuffs on. I was walking just like, hey man, you want to go get some ice cream before you take me to jail?
Yeah, that was bomb rap. And then for some stupid reason we started laughing like monkeys out there.